Hey guys, the music video for On and On just premiered and I'm thrilled how it turned out. As promised, I'll be hosting a premium after party here on YouTube where I'll be answering questions that were submitted through my Discord server and Instagram. I'm excited to get started. The original demo version of On and On was sent to me by Punctual, two friends of mine from the UK who I met at a writing camp in Sweden. We worked on several other tracks there and actually released one that's part of my Feel Again album. And they were wondering if I wanted to collaborate on and On. And I was instantly sold on the melody. We bounced back and forth a few versions. And I first tested On and On in my Perukaville set in Germany when I just finished it. And I just wanted to hear how it sounded on a big system. And it actually took a while before we ironed out all the details on the legal stuff. I was very happy that it was the key single when I released part 3 of Feel Again, my new album that just released. So it's kind of a big deal for me myself because I teased the track for a long time, more than half a year. And fans were requesting when I was finally going to release the track. So here it is. It's finally out and I'm super happy to work with the guys from Punctual because they're super nice guys. And yeah, it's really great to work with them on this one. We had a lot of fun creating the song. My typical process, I don't know, I'm a little typical like that, I guess. You know, I love a good song. A good melody and a good song is timeless. It doesn't really matter who it's sung by. You know, if it's a good song, it's a good song. But for dance music, I like to go out of my way a little bit. As you know with my tracks, blah, 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 I instantly find out that if vocals sound a bit different, if they have a different vibe to it, then usually they stand out pretty easy. So with On and On, obviously it's a little bit high-pitched voice and I don't know, it just stands out. It's a fun track. Easy to Love, obviously, is just a beautiful song. It's so amazing how that one turned out. I'm extremely proud of that. Same as with Come Around Again. Come Around Again was the result of a writing camp that I flew to in England. It was a very special moment because I also worked with James Newman, who's the brother of John Newman, by the way. And he was part of that writing camp as well. And together with loads of other guys like Bill and Ted and JC Stewart, we ended up collaborating on this one. It's actually a big collaboration, that one, and it was a big hit in several countries on the radio. So yeah, and it's still one of my set favorites. So crowds always sing along to that song. So I'm very happy with that track. Which show had the best response? Ooh, well, I remember I played it at the Amsterdam Music Festival, AMF, at the Amsterdam Dance Event in October. And I remember after I played it, a few popular radio hosts in the Netherlands, they were there at AMF and they started to send me Instagram messages, DMs, like, what was that track, you know? And at that point, we were still closing the deal, so I wasn't allowed to say it yet because, you know, we have to sign all the contracts, make sure everybody's happy. So I had to, you know, keep quiet for a little bit, but I sent a reply saying, it's something that's coming and I'm super proud of it, and I'm really happy that everything came together in the end. So yeah, it was already buzzing, and it's been a while actually since I've been teasing a track for such a long time. But I guess it did the track well because a lot of people were expecting the release, so I'm glad it turned out great. Do I have any rituals? Well, I think the most important ritual is one thing I'm not doing. I've never done drugs and I don't drink alcohol anymore, now for 3 years. And that really helps surviving the jet lags and the touring because, trust me, sitting on an airplane, if you're on a plane that much and you're always like just sitting and waiting, it can be a little bit tiring. Fortunately, I have my iPad, I'm watching a lot of movies, I'm reading books, but probably my most favorite thing to do on the road is making music, because yeah, my whole studio is my laptop these days. It's kind of crazy how that turned out, because I used to have these big computers, you know, with all these plugins, and now I can do everything pretty much on the road. So my work is never done. I'm always creating new songs, you know, while I'm getting dinner and, you know, on my laptop, trying to make new melodies, you know, starting different things, because I'm always working on a dozen songs at the same time. My 3 favorite tracks from the album, oof. I think my most favorite track from Feel Again is the title track, simply because the track meant so much to me. There's a lot of my personal story in that track, and in the versions that we created for the album, we even recorded a classical orchestra in the Wisseloord studios. So it was my first time I actually, you know, kind of conducted an orchestra, which was an amazing experience. And yeah, it was everything came together. So I did 3 versions actually of Feel Again. One is the album opening version. There's a club mix for the middle, and then there's the reprise version, which is an acoustic version that we did. And yeah, the lyrics of the song have a very personal meaning, so that must be my favorite track from the album. My second favorite track has to be, I think, Come Around Again, simply because of the story, how that came about. And the third favorite track has to be On and On, because I love that track, as you know. But it's really hard to choose a particular favorite, because every track has a personal story behind it.
Send me out like a shooting star, and I'm on my way wherever you are.
I guess Feel Again, well, to put a long story short, there's much more to it, but if you want to put a long story short, for me it's all about listening to my own emotions better, you know, listening to my heart rather than my mind, and try to find out what I really want. For example, I found out that I love DJing, I love touring. For a moment I really thought I'm going to quit DJing, I'm going to stop, but none of that. I still love it. I love dance music, I love my fans, I love making radio shows, I love making music. That's really my life's goal, you know, create this amazing stuff for you. But I miss home, you know, I miss my family, I miss my kids, I miss my wife, I miss my friends, I miss my parents, my brother. And yeah, I just want to be home more, and I want to be able to spend more time with the ones that I love. So I've decided to really have great spots in my diary where I simply do nothing or just spend time with my family. And after years of touring, I think I can do that. So for example, in July, I took 3 weeks off and I'm going on holiday with my family. So that's a radical shift from what I used to do, because for me, summer touring was always like June, July, August was almost every day, you know, gig. And now I decided that, you know, just a little bit less gigs and just focus on the ones that I'll make sure that I'll remember. So you'll still see me play all around the world, and I'll make sure I'm there. I'll make sure that I'm in almost every country where fans want me to be. Just maybe you have to be a little bit more patient to see me again.
Wasted love, wasted time, wasted yours and I wasted
The strongest connection, well, it's definitely the Feel Again title track, simply because I've done so many versions for it. I created all those versions especially for my This Is Me shows in the Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam that I did last year in 22. So I even created an ambient version of Feel Again. So yeah, there's definitely a personal story to that, and it felt really good to translate sort of the thing I went through 3 years ago into music. You know, starting the album with the Serenity Prayer, and yeah, really putting my personal story in the lyrics. So yeah, it's a very personal story.
Take my hands, raise them to the sky like the notes of my...
Yes, I'm still taking piano lessons every week. I found the perfect teacher. His name is Geronimo. And we started actually as a classic piano lessons, you know, doing the Hanon scales and all that. But now we're actually writing music together, which is so much fun, you know, just on the piano. So no sequencers, no synthesizers, no plugins, just acoustic piano, and it's such a breath of fresh air just to really find notes that connect and give interesting layers. So who knows, maybe I'll release a piano album in the future. Yes, I actually meditate every day now, believe it or not. I just checked this morning, 503 days. So every day I do a minimum 10-minute meditation. I used to hate it. I used to hate meditating. I started like 5 times, I think, and every time stopped. And it's like, this is nothing for me. Sitting there by myself, doing absolutely nothing. Why? Well, what's the purpose? And I guess I found out that if you put meditation as another bullet point on your to-do list, that is not what the purpose is for meditation for me. Meditation is about the to-do list. I mean, why do I have to do all this stuff? Why do I have to put these things on my to-do list? And how am I actually feeling? Doing a body scan, closing your eyes and actually trying to focus on your breathing and trying to feel what you're actually feeling. Like, my neck hurts, am I tired? Is there some agitation, irritation towards other people? Maybe a conversation I had with my wife or, with my son or whatever. That usually comes up during meditation. And I find out that my mind drifts a lot. So when I'm meditating, I find my mind is going somewhere else. And I want to be kind to my mind and say, like, why is my mind going there? And why is it so important to me? So usually sitting there just for a few minutes, I come up with a gazillion ideas. I always think of people that I haven't spoken to in a while, send them messages, check in with myself, check in with other people, and just try to ask myself, when will this day be a success for me? That all comes up during meditation. And I think it's a very healthy start of the day, giving some self-love, which is what you need if you want to give love to other people too. We will never stop learning till the day we die. Actually, it's something my mom taught me. She said, every day you grow up a little bit more, which is every day you learn something about yourself, about your surroundings, about what to do, about what not to do. And it's also what makes life worth living, right? If you don't learn from your mistakes or don't learn from your surroundings, what's the point? So actually I made a deal with myself during COVID to learn something every day. So I actually took that quite literally, because I took my boating license, and now I have my boating license. That was kind of my COVID project. And it was so much fun because it was something completely different than making music. And I found out that by doing other stuff than being music, sitting behind a sequencer or sitting behind a record box, I actually got inspired to do music. So it helps.